Okay, and just like that, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are live. Pam, what I'm going to do before we get started, I'm going to share the broadcast out to some entrepreneurial groups so we can get a great audience. So bear with me. Great evening, everybody. Bear with me while I share this broadcast out. You can do the same. It's on my you can go to my Facebook page, Pam, and share it out if you like.
Okay, let me turn the phone back on now.
Okay, I'm just going to put it in some groups here. Highly anticipated interview with multifaceted Pamela Reeves, everybody. Y'all bear with me. Share the broadcast out. Give us some likes. We're here live with Pamela Reeves. Got a lot to say tonight. So let me share everything out, everybody. So glad y'all could be here. Best-selling author book. Let's see, do that. One more group here. And we'll get started. Okay. And y'all give us some likes, give us some hearts. Everybody's matriculating in for this amazing, highly anticipated interview. I got to tell you, this is a special interview for me because this is my mentor. She is an amazing friend. And I brought a little gift to show Pam tonight before I do the official introduction. Pam, I'm still holding on to this. Becky and I, when you acknowledged us at your Power of Love Gala as one of the most influential couples in the DMV. So just want to thank you. I keep this on my mantle near my mom with all the other awards that I got. Listen, I'm going to go right to it. Welcome to the Dr. Larry White Senior Show. I've been blessed to have this show going on for a year and a half. And I have my sister, my mentor, Pamela Reeves. Welcome to the Dr. Larry White Senior Show, Pamela.
Well, thank you for having me, Larry. I'm excited to be here.
Well, listen, let's jump right to it. For those who may not know who Pamela Reeves is, tell us a little bit about who you are personally and professionally.
Okay, what I like to say about myself is that I have many interests and I pursue them all. And in that regard, I am not one-dimensional. I am not stereotypical anything, so never try to place me in a box. I'm always coming up with something new, and there are many dimensions to me. Personally, I am the youngest of 14 children. I'm from Baltimore City. I now reside in Baltimore County. I come from very humble beginnings, but those humble beginnings were my motivation and my inspiration to become the woman that I am now. I'm a corporate animal. I've been in corporate for over 40 years. And about 33 of those years, I've been a professional real estate associate. And I've represented global tenants as well as local tenants. I am now with a company who is the largest developer and landlord of neighborhood shopping centers. I will say this, I'm a forethinker. So I've been in corporate for a lot of years, and I've had an illustrious career, but I am a forethinker. So years ago, I started thinking about what would happen, what would my life be like when I left the corporate arena. I did not want to sacrifice the standard of living. So I thought, what could I do to ensure that I'm still going to live the way I want to live? And so what I came up with was, okay, do your own thing. And because I'm from a large family, because I've always worked with large organizations, what was a natural progression was a life coach. So that was the first thing that I did when I started my business. I became a certified life coach. The practice initially was devoted to relationship coaching because I found out that our relationships, they affect every part of our lives and everything that we do. But that evolved into now the practice is power coaching. And that is because I live my life from a position of power. And I believe all of us have that capability that we can live our lives from a position of power. After the age 50 is when I became a published author. I became a life coach, a certified public speaker, and created my own skincare line. So you can, our expiration date on our dreams, that never expires. I did all of those things after the age of 50.
Man, I got to tell you, when you say speak from a position of power, I use that in some of my conferences and workshops and throughout my books. called Power Networking. So I want to thank you for being my amazing mentor. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. When I was looking down, I was wanting to see who would chimed in and share it out to some groups, because we're just scratching the surface here. What I like to call her, not just my mentor, who I'm going to speak about that momentarily, but also multifaceted. You've done the skincare line. You've traveled the world. I've been on stage with you multiple times where you're a speaker, business coach, commercial real estate. I mean, and then you talk, because I just started hitting my stride when I turned 50 as well. So that's a really good number, everybody. So y'all take that. And of course, my mentor, Pamela Reeves, she don't look a day over 55. Amen. But you got this great project. Shout out to Sharon Bullock. She's watching.
Oh my goodness. Hi. Yeah. Hi, Sharon. Sharon is a phenomenal woman in her own right. And as you know, she is the visionary author for Embracing My Sexy 60s. And so she brought together 20 women, including myself, in our 60s. And we decided to, share our stories, just to let people know that life is not over. This is not the time to rest on your laurels. Even the science says that we are living much longer. So I pose to your audience, what are you going to do with those extra years? And I say to remain vibrant, keep learning new things, and of course, live your life from a position of power.
Well, you know what, since we jump right into this new book with you and Sharon, tell us a little bit about your chapter and the overall initiative of this new book that you have partnered with Sharon and all these other beautiful women around the country in y'all 60s, looking great.
Yes, we are. Well, actually, my chapter was built around what my platform is. And so my chapter is entitled Acknowledging, Embracing, and Unleashing My Sexy 60s. And so in my chapter, I basically talk about where I came from, humble beginnings, how I was brought up with these humble people who were powerful people, and they taught me what it was to live my life from a position of power. And as I matured, it just became more clear to me how I was to live my life, what was my calling, because people are attracted to me because they see their power. And so, I've decided, let me share that. You don't keep things like that, valuable things, to yourself. When we duplicate ourselves, we are leaving our footprints here, and we are encouraging others that they too can do that. So what I do, as I said, in this chapter, I talk about where I came from. I talk about the joy of this part of my life. When we are young, we have questions like, what am I going to be? Who am I going to be? Am I going to be successful? Well, a woman in her 60s, those questions have been answered. I know who I am now. I'm confident in who I am. I love who I am. And I can let other women know that this is an amazing space to be. And that's what I write about in my chapter. You have to first acknowledge your power, and then you have to embrace it. And once you have that confidence, guess what? Let them have it. Unleash it, because that's what the purpose is, for us to unleash whatever gifts and talents that we have within. They are not for us. They're in and of us, but they are not for us.
Amen. Pam, I owe you a one solid, and I want to do it live right here on the air. How can we purchase the book?
Actually, you can purchase the book if you go to my page. It's at there is a website that is www. I think it's Pam Reeves Books, but I will actually post that there, in your chat, and that's where you can purchase the books directly from me.
Well, let me ask you this: do you do Cash App? We're live streaming.
Yeah.
Let me do this really quick. Let me do this really quickly. Everybody, by the sound of my voice, I want y'all to buy my mentor's book. What is your Cash App, Pamela? Pam?
Okay. Let me go to that. But
yeah, and everybody, while she does that, I want you all to buy this amazing book. Sharon J. Bullock, she is a mastermind member. And shout out to Sylvia, all the amazing women in this project. What's your Cash App, Pam?
It is the $, uppercase P, Pamela, uppercase S Scriber, but it's one word. $ Pamela Scriber. Reeves is my maiden name.
Right. Okay, I think I got it.
And I am going to get
You said
that.
Pamela, Pamela Scriber?
Yes.
Hmm.
Did you find it yet?
I did not. Tell you
Okay.
what we're going to do? Send me a Cash App request. What is the book, $25?
No. Let me actually, let's keep talking and I'm going to find that
Yeah, we'll get it
link.
towards the end. Yeah. I want to put,
Yeah.
and you're going to put out the website in a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let me give you my website address, and that's Pam for the number for Nella, NELLA, LLC.com.
okay.
Once you get into my website and you go to the gallery page, then you will see the photo, the book cover, and you just click on that and it will send you directly to purchase the book.
Okay, no problem. And
Okay.
no problem. I'll post that in the chat as well.
Okay.
Pamela, let's take a step back. We know you've done all these amazing things, skincare line, published books, speaking, coaching. What started your journey as an entrepreneur? What started your journey as an entrepreneur?
As I say, Larry, I started thinking about, and this was prior, I was approaching 50. And when you are approaching milestones, you start to evaluate where you are, where you've been, and what you're going to do. And I noticed just being a seasoned in the corporate environment, I also know there are limitations. That's somebody else's. It doesn't belong to you. And so when you start to see those limitations come into view, then if you're like me, you're going to start thinking about what now? Well, what do I do if I'm not eligible for continued promotions and increases and that type of things? Because we live in a youth-oriented environment. So I just started thinking about what am I going to do? How am I going to not only maintain what I have, but even to improve it? At that point, I had had enough experience. I'd had enough years out there in different corporate cultures to know what I'm capable of. And so then I made the decision, because even back then I couldn't articulate it, but I've always tried to live my life from a position of power. So if you can't give it to me, then I have to assume the position of power, and I don't have to wait for the opportunity, but I create the opportunity. And that's why I started my business. I decided to create opportunities rather than to keep waiting and anticipating that someone else would provide them to me.
Absolutely. I was just pulling up your website. I got it. It looks amazing. Who does your website, Pam?
I do.
You do? Wow.
I think you forgot the other day I was talking to you. We were talking about COVID and how COVID had changed our businesses and what we were doing. And, some things were going on in the industry that I'm in. And, there was a little bit of uncertainty. And so I had to go back and think about how could I, contain my costs? What could I do? And the person that I'd had for years, he was phenomenal. But, I was like, maybe this is an area where I could, contain my cost. And so because I'm driven, and I was so driven, I started to do some research, and I created my own. I'm a creative person, and I will say this to creative people. If you're creative in one area, you're more likely creative in other areas. And so I create the website that you had before. I am very pleased with it. I did that.
Well, listen, I am posting. This is kind of like live TV here. Link to purchase the book, and I got the link. Shout out to Tina Hall, who's watching. Happy birthday, Tina.
Hi, Tina. Happy birthday. Glad you could join us, and thank you so much for your support.
Absolutely. Shout out to Courtney Lee Smith. She says, maintain and improve Cat Best creative opportunities. Love you, Cat Best. Love you, Courtney. Sanita Carter. God bless you all for coming in. Listen, I gotta just listen. I was looking at your site, and yes, I forgot. I'm looking at this beautiful site and amazing pictures. I see you with Matthew Knowles here. Um,
Yes.
hey, hey, look, they don't know a lot of. I see you at the Power of Love Gala, and you know what's so great? I actually, what warms my heart is I see you at my Black Tie Gala on the podium receiving a leadership award. You know,
Yes.
we've had the opportunity to really share the stage with each other, and one thing about you and I, we receive things, but we get more out of things when we're giving. I love to give. Receiving sometimes is embarrassing, but like I have to just show this one more time for y'all. This was at the Power of Love Gala back in the day. What was that? The
Was
year
it 2014?
2014. She remembered.
Yes.
She honored my wife and I. And Becky says hello to you and Reg. And let me tell you something. I want to say this to Pam live because I'm unfiltered, uncuffed, unchained, like Django. And I'm like you, Pam. I don't like to be put in a box, and I like to make sure I explore all my opportunities. But we would have these events, and I'm staying late trying to get things going. I'm like, Pam, why do you leave after you speak? You like, listen, when you finish your event, get out of there, because afterwards, that's when things start happening, you know. And
Yes.
over and over, Pam, I would find myself in these tough situations because I didn't get out of there too soon. So I find myself now leaving early, like you taught me. And I just want you to know every golden nugget that you've given me, I took it to Atlanta, and the brother told me, he said, man, you were very professional. And it was not a lot of people there due to COVID and traveling. But he said, you carried yourself very well, and I'm really honored to be flanked with you. And I owe a lot of that to you, Pam, too, because sometimes, you know, when you got a new initiative, a new book, you wonder who's going to buy this book, who's going to come and show up. And we're in the middle of COVID-19, and praise the Lord, I've just been vaccinated, got my second shot, so I feel a lot more comfortable. But I just want to thank you so much. And we're not ending the broadcast right now at all. I just want to thank you because maybe I can't say it enough, because being on stage with you, and you said it earlier, people are attracted to that power you have. When you walk into the stage, I told Dr. Green, I said, she shop, and a lot of us shop, but I said, when Pam walk in, you're going to see a difference where she commands the room. So I played a little trick on her. Normally I like to make Pam like to be the first speaker so she can get out of there. So I made Pam the last speaker so she can stick around for the whole show, everybody. That's the only time I would do that. And that was before COVID for the Christmas party, because I wanted people to see and witness, because you know how you put your great speakers up front, and then that's your power, and then maybe your speakers later on are not as powerful as so you got everything loaded on the top, and then the latter speakers, people are starting to leave. You're like, wow, let me save Pam for last so people will stick around and hear Pam. But I just want to say this to you. You drove to Fredericksburg, Virginia to be with me. Good 2-3 hour drive. Microsoft. I could just keep going around. And I wanted to thank you for supporting me, supporting my business, giving me golden nuggets. I love you. You can't do nothing about it. And I just want to turn it back over to you. What have you been up to? This is a 2-part question, Pam. What have you been up to during the COVID-19? Tell us exactly what you've been doing during COVID-19, and tell us about some challenges you faced as an entrepreneur and how did you overcome them?
Okay, well, remember when I was talking about that I'm a person of many interests and I pursue all of them. So, you know, it's great to have more than one passion because, of course, we never anticipated something like COVID, and it did affect me, but I just pivoted into other areas. And, you know, I've really been blessed because what has happened since COVID, I've picked up more coaching clients. And one of the reasons is because now it's convenient because we do the coaching sessions via Zoom, you know, so I've picked that up. And about 3 weeks ago, I had my very first opportunity. I was a guest lecturer at New York Christian Bible College. So now I am a college lecturer. So that was great. That was awesome. And, you know, I've been asked to come back. Of course, you know, the embracing my 60s, and I'll be so glad when we're all vaccinated because I just believe that's going to be a phenomenal tour. So Sharon, I just can't wait until we can actually get out there. I had on a film project that I had been working on, but as you can imagine, COVID, that's on pause. But I will say I'm just exceptionally proud where the progress that we made with the film project, because just before we hit the pause, there was a financial company, a finance group in LA, and we were looking at a budget of $22 million.
Wow.
And so, yes. And so I'm just, hoping and praying and asking all of those who are here, just keep the film project in your prayers that it will be resurrected. And so the other thing that I'm doing, and hopefully it will be released soon, I went back to my novel that was originally released in 2014. And a book is forever. And so if you feel like you can go back and improve, don't be shy about doing that. When I was working on the movie project, getting all of the perspective from people who are in the industry, I decided to retitle the movie, and the movie is entitled The Emancipation of Scott Harrington. Well, then I said, well, I should go back and actually change the title of the book, because I want the book to be more in line, with the movie, and so that's what I'm working on now. It's a fictional novel based on real life events. So I'm working on that. The coaching practice has picked up again. I'm still getting the online orders for skincare. So you can see I'm in a lot of directions. And because of COVID, and how it's impacted commercial, the commercial area. As you can imagine, in my corporate life, we are super busy because so much is going on in the shopping center world, with leases and tenants. It's just a whole lot going on that front. So, I would really stress to your entrepreneurs, especially those who are interested in bricks and mortar, to really be careful, and be sure that you can handle that, because there are a lot of layers to that. I find that, there's a lot of African Americans are not into commercial real estate. So we don't know all of the layers to that. And sometimes when we come into a little bit of money, we think, okay, I want to open up a store, in a commercial district. And I will tell you, there are a lot of layers to that. And there are a lot of considerations. So be very careful. There's nothing wrong with online, because a lot of your major retailers and those who are in the game in bricks and mortar, they make sure that they have an online presence. So whatever you do, make sure that you have an online presence as well.
Absolutely. I just purchased your book, and I filled out the information, and I just got an order confirmation. So you should have an order from me of purchasing the book. And I love to, I know pretty much all of the contributing authors. Of course, the visionary author Sharon J. Bullock are part of the mastermind team. I work with Sylvia in the state of Maryland, Sylvia Garrett, yourself. So I know quite a few of the authors. I'm looking forward to reading all of the chapters, and again, supporting Black-owned businesses. I was looking at your website, and it took me back, Pam. We were on stage with the state's attorney back in the day, receiving your award, and it taught me a lot to be able to have some dignity, not only just be professional in everything you do, but have some dignity, some pride, but also be humble. As they say, much is given, much is required. And so we always try to make sure, like you said, you turn 50 and you hit the gas pedal, you start rolling. Most people start actually declining, thinking about retirement, going the other way. And so I would say to you, thank you for breathing that power into me, because when I turned 50, it was tough. I lost my mom that year. But then now I'm on my 5th book. So you are absolutely right. And I'm definitely following in your footsteps.
Absolutely. And I will say this, Larry, sometimes people are reserved about giving, and afraid that if I give everything, then there'll be nothing left for me. I will say this: as long as you give, you will always have, because when you are giving, you are opening up for you to receive more. So never be shy about giving. As long as you give, I promise you, you will always have.
It's funny you mentioned that. One of our team members was raising some money for a homeless project yesterday. and she sowed a seed to my tour, Deposit Your Dreams into Success Atlanta. She sowed a seed for $50. And I said, Sharon, thank you so much for that. We were able to buy food. You know how it is when you're on the road, every little bit counts. Hotel, gas, traveling, plane tickets, all that. And it's really difficult during the COVID-19. Courtney Lee Smith, I'm not going to say the P word. She knows what that is. I'm going to stick with COVID-19. But back in the day, we used to get sponsors, and they're still out there. But with the economy, it's really difficult. So entrepreneurs that are coming out of their pocket to donate, it's really great. So I said, Sharon, thank you so much for donating. She donated $50 to the tour, even though she couldn't be there. We raised $300 for her yesterday for her homeless initiative. And so she can see how that works. And so you're absolutely right. Be a cheerful giver and you'll get it back. Tenfold, whatever the case may be. So absolutely. Pam, we got just a few more minutes to chop it up here with you. I have one more question for you before we get your contact information, and I can't wait to get my book. If someone is trying to start a business, write a book, and they're struggling, they were struggling before the pandemic. We would hope to all come out better on the other side. We've had an opportunity, at least I have, to work from home for 1 year now. My wife just started going back to work 2 days a week. But we've been here loving on each other and getting on each other's nerves. Let's keep it real every now and again because we couldn't go anywhere. But for that individual that's in that cubicle working from home, maybe waiting on the next stimulus check, what encouraging advice would you give them to continue to strive to get that book out, to start their business, even if you just got one client?
I will say, don't be discouraged and don't beat up on yourself. Even the largest companies, they have challenges. They are different, they may have different resources, but do not give up and do something. I don't care how small it seems. It is contributing to the final project. So no matter how small, if it's a book, if you just write a paragraph once a day, let that be it. And I'm assuming most of us have computers, get on that computer and work on your manuscript. I will tell you this, when I was writing the novel, when I was looking at the computer, I actually could see the movie. This was long before the movie. And that's what inspired me. I could see what I was writing. So do something. Just don't become overwhelmed with the shutdown, the mandates. We can't do anything about that. But you can be moving in silence. You can be moving, in small measured parts. And there is nothing wrong with that, because right now, guess what? Just about everybody's in the same boat with you, so it's nothing to feel ashamed of, but keep doing it. Entrepreneurs, go back to your business plans, go back to your business model and consider, what needs to be adjusted. If you need to redirect your energy somewhere else, maybe out there, you can't go out and speak. Well, you can participate in the virtual things. There are many things that you can do, but just pivot, but don't become overwhelmed. And for God's sake, do not become frozen in fear. Don't do that. Even the strong is visited by fear. But you know what we do? We have the audacity to stand up to face and prevail over our fears. It comes to visit us, but we do something about it. We just don't do anything. We do something about it. So I would say stay encouraged. Do not beat up on yourself right now. Everybody is going through. I don't care how successful they are having to go back and reassess who they are, their business plans, their business models, their products and services. Is there something else that you can do during the interim? Even if that is more time with your family. In my marriage, the both of us were driven people. And really the last year we've had more time together than we've had in 32 years of marriage, because we both, like I said, high-powered people, had our own careers going in different directions. But what COVID did, it slowed us down enough to even reassess the personal relationships. So there is something that you can do in all of this.
You know, I was looking, I got something for you, Pam, before we close out. I got something for you because you have been there every step of the way with me, and your influence has just been unparalleled. And I want to say that my very first book, I've sold over 1,200 copies of this book. One chapter is dedicated to you. It's called The Power of Networking. You taught me that. All right. And so
Yes.
hanging around you gave me the idea to be the ultimate networking entrepreneur. So I just wanted you to know that. And each book that I've written has had your stamp of approval on it, where you taught me this: no matter how it's going, operate in excellence. And
Yes.
this one, you know, pain, purpose, and position. And I just say that because you've been such an inspiration. I can remember on Red Carpet, you were with me a couple of years ago when I launched this book. You were right there with me. Amen. And
Amen.
so I thank you so much for your positive energy. Boy, I tell you, you did that event at the Rollins venue back in the day with Shirley.
Oh yeah, this is the Sensational Sunday. Or was that awesome? Oh my God.
Oh my
I
gosh.
can't wait to one day that we will go back to that. That's the Atrium.
The
Just
Atrium.
a phenomenal venue.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
You know, you told me this, you've included me in a lot of your endeavors, and you know, I was raised to reciprocate. Okay. I tell people all day, if you're receiving, make sure you're giving back and reciprocate.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't always have to be monetarily. You can get your money back. And I just said this on a call last night, but you can't get your time back. So
Yes.
give people your time and they'll appreciate it. Pam, we're going to get ready to get you out of here. We love you so much. Give us the contact information, your website, so people can contact you. And for those that may be struggling in your business, you can always call my mentor, Pamela Reeves, and she can give you some coaching. She ain't free, but she will give you a discount maybe if you say my name. But call her if you're struggling with your business, because I've had the opportunity to been working with Pam now for a good 7 years. I'm not the same business owner I was when I got started in 2012, 2013, and I'm seasoned, as Pam said. Now that don't mean I'm perfect or I don't make mistakes, but I do try to operate in a sense of excellence and in a position of power, as my sister said.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, now all of my contact information is on the website. So that's Pam for Nella LLC.com. And there is a contact page, and all of my contact information is there. You know, hit me up and we'll talk about you living your life from a position of power in every aspect.
Absolutely, Pam. I'm looking at the website. I'm on that website a lot more than I thought. And so thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. And I want to leave you with this one. I can go on and on with Pam Reeves. We were on a cruise one night. We were sailing out on the Potomac, me, you, and Reg and Becky, and we were just chilling. And it was so cool. You was talking, and Reg was there looking nice and sharp as he always is, you know, power couple. Here's an amazing African-American couple that took money out of their own pockets to empower other Black couples. I took away a lot from those Power Love galas. I think I made every last one of them. And you gave me the opportunity, and we coming back, y'all. I've been talking to the mastermind members, you being an honorary board member. So we're going to talk about that, because one thing about Pam, even though she loves me a lot, she'll let you know when her plate is full and she ain't got time for some things, you know, and just being, as Courtney said, not busy, but being productive. So I'm recruiting her because she'll make us better. And I want y'all to say a prayer for me and Pam on this. We have a lot of things, as she said, #pivot. We have a lot of things that put a halt on the things we were doing when COVID-19 hit. I'm in the middle of a tour. She's doing a movie. So these things will come back into fruition. We just on a pause right now. But I just want to thank my listening audience for chiming in every Thursday. Each and every week, it seems to get better. Shout out to Steph Wood last week. And we have the incomparable Pamela Reeves today. And I just love you so much. And I just want to thank you for blessing me to be on the show.
Well, thank you for, you know, inviting me, and for all of your guests. Thank you for tuning in. I sincerely appreciate it. I always appreciate it. Never take it for granted.
Amen. Amen. That is my mentor. Everywhere I can go and she's available, she will go. Believe y'all, she don't drive at night too much no more. So I'll be wanting Pam to be there so bad. I said, well, Pam, come early in the day so I can put you and Reg in a hotel so you can be at the event the next day. And through Congressional Black Caucus, DC, when parking would be jacked up, you could always count on Pam being there to support you. Her word is so much. And I just thank you so much for being here tonight. God bless you and Reg. And once things are safe, we'll get together soon. Okay.
Absolutely. Take care.
Take care. Thank you so much. God
All
bless.
right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.